You're listening to the Masonic Light Podcast. Starring Pete Ruggieri, Larry Maris, and Jason Lewis. This podcast is not endorsed by any Grand Lodge, and the ridiculous ramblings of the hosts are their own. So sit back and enjoy some Masonic conversation without pretension. And now, here's your hosts, Pete, Larry, and Jason.
And we're back. Masonic Light Podcast, episode 039.
039?
039. Can you believe it?
That's confusing.
I know. So, Larry, at the moment, where's Pete? Pete is
in Spain fomenting revolution. He flew into Barcelona on Sunday just in time for the riots.
Right.
Spent 2 days there, got out of town before it really got seriously bad.
If you watch CNN, you can find him.
Yeah, that's right. He's there. And he's hiding out in Seville right now. The Spanish police are looking for him.
And Jack's not with us because Jack's bathroom is being remodeled.
Jack was somehow or other evicted from his home by the plumber and the remodeler for the bathroom. It turned out to be pretty bad.
And Seth is in Cancun.
Yes, Seth is in Cancun.
But we are actually recording from Zembo Shrine with the Legion of Honor unit. And we were an invited guest. And we tricked them. We tricked them into actually helping us record. But we gotta look at this. Look at this. Did you see this agenda?
Yeah, I saw that.
I know.
It gave me the shakes when I first looked at it. I thought, oh no, not another one of these things.
15 bullet points, 3 amendments, each with subheadings, and then program.
I can say I have been here at a meeting previously where they invited me, and they covered all of those things. And by the time I got up to speak, I was totally exhausted.
They bought us dinner, though.
And I was so. I even voted on stuff I shouldn't have. Russ doesn't know that though.
Well,
he thought we had a majority, right?
I saw your hand go up.
So speaking of,
how many books did you sell that night?
A lot of books that night. Yes, I did, absolutely. And what's nice coming back is finding out that people read them.
But maybe we can go around the room and introduce some of our guests.
Well, let us self-introduce them.
All right.
You are, to my left, Russ. Give us your full name.
I'm Russ Kratzer. I'm the commander of this year's Legion of Honor at Zembo Temple.
And your lodge you belong to?
Robert Burns, 464.
Robert Burns, great poet. Okay. We have with us the First Lady, is that right?
First Lady this year of Zembo, Ricky Cook. My
Cook.
husband's Potentate of Zembo, 2017.
Awesome.
Past Master of Eureka West Shore Lodge, 302.
Awesome. Thank you for being here, really. And with the reason being that we asked you to be part of this panel was because your husband is Potentate, and you're going to make him listen to this show, and he's going to say, damn, this is a good show. And so thank you very much for being
You're
part
so
of it.
welcome.
I'm Walt Dinda, Legion of Honor, Robert Burns Lodge, 464, and I'm a veteran of the United States Navy.
Amen. So am I.
Wonderful. So, in normal tradition, Larry, we should talk about what we did this week. So
Yes,
why don't you start? What did you do this week?
Blue Lodge meeting on Tuesday.
Yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah. Zembo today, of course,
Yeah.
right here.
That's today.
Tomorrow, Thursday, Goose and Gridiron Breakfast Society.
I have physical therapy in the morning. Yeah.
That's too bad.
And that's not Masonic.
No, it's not. And that's what I've done so far. Russ, how about you so far this week? What have you done?
I can't remember what I did this morning. You kidding? Oh, let's see. What did I do? We had an extra meeting at Robert Burns. We had we entered a Mason. And let's see. What did I do yesterday? I don't know. Nothing. I didn't do anything yesterday. I had a day off. And then today with the Legion of Honor.
Well, how about you? What's your Masonic week look like this past week?
Same thing on Monday, extra meeting Monday, and tonight.
Wonderful.
Here at the Legion of Honor's meeting.
And Mrs. Potentate?
No, don't call me that.
Get the calendar out.
First Lady, I'm sorry.
Don't call me Mrs. Potentate.
You're cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's okay, she can do that.
Monday, well, I won't tell you what I did Monday. Bob has been at Zembo every day. And tonight we're at the Legion of Honor. And we do just about 3 or 4, at least every week, some type of club or unit meeting.
Wonderful. And what did I do this week? I worked, so every day is a Masonic day for me. And I was at Lamberton Lodge, my dual membership lodge last night, my first stated meeting,
That's right.
not in a tux, on the sidelines as a regular member. I talked a lot, but it was okay. And
You had a great guest speaker last night, too.
we did, oh, that's right.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what, one of the top speakers and
No, you spoke last night, and it was
Yeah,
great. It was
yeah.
really, and you got a good Masonic Light podcast plug in there. Well, Larry, I normally you're the one that has to take a bathroom break, but I had too many iced teas.
Okay.
So, and maybe we'll listen to some news and some Corpora Obscurum, and we'll be back with the fine folks at Legion of Honor.
Sounds good to me.
Hey everybody, welcome back. So this episode is a mishmash of recordings that we're piecing together. Obviously Pete has been out of town and Jack had his bathroom remodeled. We had a guest actually cancel on us that we were going to play an interview of. This guest was no fault of her own that she had to cancel. She was stuck in traffic and delayed flights and you name it. So we dialed in to our Podcasters Network, and Jason Richards from the Masonic Roundtable was kind enough to join us. So Jack, myself, and Larry shared a Google Hangout with Jason, and us not being the Google Hangouts experts captured a really crappy recording. So we're going to play a little bit of that, but Jason was a great guest, spoke with us for over an hour, but we were able to salvage just a small portion of it. So without further ado, here's Jack and Jason, and you can barely hear me, so I apologize, MLP fans, but someday we'll figure it out.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're here tonight. We've just had somebody jump online with us. Jason Richards from the Masonic Roundtable is here with us, and we're going to talk a little bit, I guess, about their show, how our shows are different, why our show is better, and we're going to talk in depth about Jason's blog that he hasn't actually written anything on in, I think, about a year. So, Jason, welcome.
Hey, it's great to be here.
It's great to have you. And Jason Lewis, don't just sit back there like a retired chipmunk.
Why do you say chipmunk?
Jump in anytime.
So, you guys just had the Lost Masonic Word episode, right?
Yeah, episode 183. So I think we've done about 185 episodes total, to include some little off-brand, celebrating the craft type stuff.
Right.
But this past week's episode was talking about Masonry's lost word, which is not what you would expect it. The true lost word of Masonry is actually no.
Right.
And so we got a chance to just kind of sit back and say, you know what, when are you doing too much in Masonry, and when do you actually need to start stepping back, and how are each of the hosts of the Masonic Roundtable actually trying to step back from various things? Because, back in the early 1900s, Masonic appendant bodies were just growing in leaps and bounds, and they could do that because it was sustainable, because everybody and their dad was a Mason. It was the only game in town as far as fraternal societies were concerned. And so it was a bit of a Ponzi scheme in a sense, where you had a never-ending, seemingly, group of candidates and future Master Masons to help, prop up all of these appendant bodies and, study clubs and, hey, I want my own degrees, etc. And now we're kind of like Masonry is this huge bureaucracy in the sense where it's very hard to actually downsize and get rid of organizations that aren't sustainable today. And so we have an overabundance of appendant bodies and Masonic duties and obligations, and we have an underabundance of Masons who are able to work and sustain them all. So we talked a little bit about having that balance between, of course, your own Masonic obligations and then your family and friends and everything else, and what you need to do in order to keep that balance so that Masonry doesn't become your absolute everything if you don't want it to be.
So do you address that with the new candidates as they're coming through? Do you have any sort of, I'm not going to say policy because that's too strict, but I like to tell the guys that I'm mentoring, look, spend a year here, right? Put your root down in your Blue Lodge before you start signing other petitions and joining another body. Do you do that kind of stuff?
So I do. I'm sitting worshipful master of my lodge, Acacia Lodge number 16 in Clifton, Virginia. And what I have typically done is, as I've said to candidates, look, as soon as you become a Master Mason, I know you go through 6 to 10 months of, meeting one-on-one with a mentor, maybe coming to dinner once a month. But that's not the reality of the time commitment that comes with being a Mason. The reality is you can do as much or as little as you want to. However, you're going to want to do everything, and people are going to want you to do everything. So just take a little bit of time and just get to know your Blue Lodge, and then sample what else is out there, and then make your decision as to what you want to pursue and what you want to go and do.
Hey everybody, welcome back. You just listened to the salvageable portion of our interview with Jason Richards from the Masonic Roundtable. We owe him a big thank you for jumping in on such short notice. You can listen to Jason and the rest of the Masonic Roundtable hosts at www.masonicroundtable.com, including episode 183, The Lost Masonic Word, which we all know is no. I want to give a big shout out to these guys. We get a chance to interact with them on occasion behind the scenes, and they're all class acts. And they've been big supporters of Masonic Light. So Jason, John, RJ, Juan, and Mike the intern, big thank you to you guys. With that, we have some news with Jack, Corpora Obscurum with Seth Anthony coming up. Maybe we'll get a surprise mentoring minute from our friend Jeff Moyer. And we'll wrap up again with the Zumbo Shrine Legion of Honor in Harrisburg, PA.
Good news, everyone!
Masonic Light News. News not fit to print.
In Masonic news today, Masonic fundraising may have been affected for decades, and it was announced that the world's largest pancake flour refinery was destroyed in the recent rash of hurricanes. According to Worshipful Master Brother Peter Gora of Flapjack Lodge number 3 in Pearland, Texas, Hurricane Irma took out the Fellowship Flour Mill there. Hopes of rebuilding were dashed. The Oddfellows Lodge demanded protection money for construction crews working on the project. That's the Masonic news. So mote it was.
Hey, Maris, this is Moyer. You cheap rat bastard, you. You left your Scottish Rite dues going arrears, and finally we humiliated you into paying and catching up and whatever. So I'm glad you're back in the Scottish Rite again, and what really tickles my heart is that you're taking a non-speaking part in the 8th degree intendant of the building at the Lancaster Lodge Perfection Reunion this October. It's a non-speaking part. I know how much you hate ritual, and I'm looking forward to you standing on stage with that usual scowl on your face. Bye, Larry.
You're about to enter
Corpora Obscurum.
the realm of weird fraternal organization.
Leave your Freemasonry behind.
Prepare to meet druids, caliphs, and wild creatures.
Knock thrice.
And enter at your own risk.
Good day, Masonic Light podcast listener. Today we are taking a look at a lesser-known branch of the Oddfellows fraternity in America. Founded in 1843, the Grand United Order of Oddfellows has generally drawn membership from African Americans, due to black people being discriminated against, as was the norm in fraternal orders in America during the 17 and 1800s. In contradistinction to the Independent Order of Oddfellows, abbreviated IOOF, the Grand United Order of Oddfellows in America traces its origin to the original Grand United Order of Oddfellows in England, which was established in 1798. In 1842, members of the Philomethian Institute in New York City petitioned the English-aligned American Oddfellows for a dispensation to form their institute into a lodge of Oddfellows. They were denied, because they were black. At this point, Peter Ogden, a black sailor who had been initiated into a Grand United Order-affiliated lodge in Liverpool, England, suggested that they try to receive recognition from them. This idea was approved, and Ogden sailed to England and obtained recognition from the Grand United Order's governing body at Leeds to form the Philomethian Institute into Philomethian Lodge No. 644 on March 1, 1843. By 1847, there were 22 lodges in Ogden's organization, and in 1851, lodges from New York, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Delaware, and Maryland met in New Haven, Connecticut in convention. The lodge has been the basic local unit of the order since its founding. Councils of Past Grand Masters, also known as the Patriarchal Order of Past Grand Masters in America, were added in 1844 and are composed, as the name suggests, by past Grand Masters of the order. Patriarchies, composed of past Grand Masters who have rendered particularly valuable service to the order, were created during a reorganization in 1873 and are modeled on a similar British adjunct. The number of lodges and other local units grew steadily during the 19th century. There were 32 in 1850 and 66 in 1860, though 17 of these were inactive. In 1863, at the 20th anniversary of the order, it was announced that there were 50 active lodges in the United States, Canada, and Bermuda, and in 1867 there were 66 active lodges. During the 1870s, the order spread west and south, establishing lodges in Florida, Texas, Colorado, and California. By the time of the order's 1892 convention, it had even spread to Cuba. In 1897, there were 2,253 lodges and 36 Grand Lodges. By 1979, the structure had apparently changed somewhat, with the national organization called the Grand Lodge and 6 regional groups overseeing local lodges. National conventions were then held biennially, and the headquarters was in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where it remains today. Membership has always been open to people of any race, though it has remained a predominantly African American order. In 1979, there were 108,000 members. Their female auxiliary, known as the Household of Ruth, flourished during the golden era of fraternalism with nearly 100,000 plus members. Unlike the Independent Order, the members of the Household of Ruth maintain their independence from the Grand United Order of Oddfellows, although the men can obtain the Ruth degree. Want to learn more about America's fraternal history? Visit the J.H. Rathbone Museum in person in Lafayette, Indiana, and online at www.jhrathbonemuseum.org.
And we're back, and we snuck in Corpora Obscurum and Jack's News in there. Actually, we didn't sneak in Jack's News because he was in here with us.
Yeah, we'll let him comment.
But we're still here at Zembo Shrine at the Legion of Honor, and we're trying to pull off.
You can say that
39.
because actually Jack is supposed to be here tonight.
He was supposed to be here tonight.
Except he hires people that don't seem to be able to get the job done right.
Well, if you listen to Jack, you You listen to Jack.
Yes,
I guess
I
that's what
listen
it is.
to
Crowded here, there's probably no room for Jack right now.
Yeah, true. So we should go home. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm ready to close it out.
Well, what do you have going on this coming week?
What do I have going on this week? Goose and Gridiron. I'm going to try to get to your first degree that you're doing tomorrow night in Emerton Lodge.
By the time you're listening to this, going back in your time machine.
Going back in the time machine.
Come watch my first degree. Conferring the first degree.
And actually, other than the Thursday breakfast, I think I'm pretty safe for a while. I'm not sure. We do have our. We're here doing that now, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Here we are.
This is really screwy, but yeah. Anyway, so we're doing the podcast, and it's going to be kind of slow for at least a week or so.
Right. And we'll switch it up. Let's go this direction. Walt, what do you have coming up Masonically?
Nothing.
Ricky, what do you have? You have the calendar out.
I have the calendar out. What do we have? Okay. Oh, boy. We have the Yacht Club.
Oh yeah, we'll be right there at that one.
Yeah, we have the Yacht Club on Tuesday. On
I'm looking
Monday
forward to
night.
Oh, yeah.
Monday night, my husband has a police unit meeting. Wednesday night, we have the Cumberland County Shrine. Thursday, we have Lancaster County Spring Ladies Night. Friday, actually, we have Luncheon Club.
Nice.
Jeez.
And how about you? How about you, Russ? What do you got?
Hey, don't laugh at the Yacht Club. They're award-winning.
I didn't laugh at the Yacht Club.
They're award-winning.
It sounds-
They
No,
took
it's just what I
first
said.
place in the Mid-Atlantic Shrine
We're
Association.
looking forward to going, Russ. We
For
really are.
4 straight years.
It sounds as-
and they were all in step.
It sounds as riveting as Seth Anthony's wedding that we were unable to attend.
I saw pictures of him on the beach. I mean, I think he's buried up to his neck where he belongs.
Yeah, by the way, Seth, the gift is in the mail.
Yeah, it's coming. Don't worry about it.
Hey, Seth, don't expect one from me. I'll send you a kazoo. COD.
Well, you ready? I'm ready to go home.
Yeah,
Mary.
you ready to go home?
Take us home.
All right, little banjo music, please.
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay, here I have to do this all the time. Somehow or other the phone goes off. Anyway, I want to thanks to Monarch Studios, which we are not at tonight. We're at
Zembo Studios.
Larry's Studios or Zembo Studios. Exactly, we're at 2 different locations. Also, thanks to our producer Jason Lewis for always doing a fine show. To brother R.C. McCorby, brother on the street, who I had a nice chat with last night.
Oh, good.
Going to do 2 or 3 minute segments for us on a more light venue. Also, to Seth Anthony for bringing us fraternities that we had no freaking idea ever existed before. And also, Brother Pete, you will probably hear this in transit. I think you're coming back Monday night if you survived the riots. He was on his way back home from Spain and Rome. I think he had a meeting with the Pope. Hopefully he'll record that. Also, too, I want to give thanks to our, again, Grand Lodge coordinator, Jack Snafu Lutz. Our Masonic-like fashion... No, I'm not going to do that one. Our Masonic-like dietitian and MLP, our Masonic-like podcast advisor, our dietitian, so forth, that helps us stay on the straight and narrow.
Spit it out.
Cindy, I give up. Our director of snacks and drinks, I am bone fat. Our director of music karaoke. And our director of crowd control, which we have to have at the studios occasionally, Bob Dwyer. And I leave you with this final thought. Even daydreamers are focused. This is Larry Maris.
This is Jason Lewis and
Walt Dinda.
Ricky Cook.
Russ Kratzer.
Good night and thanks for listening. Okay. All right.
You gonna be able to do it?
Yeah, here we are. I got some doozies here.
Some doozies.
I made them up.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, pardon my French.